Hey, all right, good afternoon. All right, this one's gonna be shorter. I know I've been doing some long ones and probably just saying too much. I don't know, but I just want anybody who recently sees anything to know that I believe the original scriptures were perfect, inspired by God, and I believe Jesus Christ is the Messiah. He is God incarnate. He is the Word that was made flesh in the likeness of sinful flesh. He is in the embodiment of the truth, and the only way by submitting ourselves to Him in His kingship, His lordship, as our sovereign Prince, to take us back home. Okay, so there's that. So this verse this morning, it's so crazy because I hadn't got anything from him last night when I was busy at work like all day long yesterday. And then the first thing this morning, when I was in prayer with him, like every morning, that's the way it's become a habit. And that needs to become a habit. I'm no better than anybody else. I am definitely not claiming to be, but it needs to be a habit. And if you're able, I'm able at first thing in the morning because I work afternoons, right? So that's why I'm able. I'm not in a rush to hurry up and try to get to work. Okay? So anyways, I just heard clearly in my spirit, Genesis 3:4. Genesis 3:4, when I was asking him, Lord, is there something? And it was like immediate too, an immediate answer. And I looked at this verse, it's very short, and I didn't quite understand why he would want me to, but, here it is. And it's definitely a foundational verse, no doubt about it, but it's very short. So first I'll read it the way we'll see it in our Bibles, and then give it out the way His Holy Spirit revealed it to me as I studied. Like I said, origin to origin, looking at the lexicons. You can't just look at the Strongs, okay? Got to look at everything. But the only way you can come into the knowledge of spiritual truth is from the Spirit of God. Only the Spirit of God can teach you the spiritual truths contained in His Word. And I'm no better than anybody, man. I know that. But this is the way His Holy Spirit laid it out to me. So first I'll read it. It's short. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. There we go. And you wouldn't think there'd be a whole lot there. I mean, you kind of get it. You know what we've been taught. But there's so many details, right, in the lexicons. But it's still short. But there's definitely spiritual understanding here that He wants us to understand completely from the Spirit, seeing with our spiritual eyes. Okay? Here we go. Genesis 3:4. The serpent, this Nakash, that diligently observes. So the Nakash diligently observes and learns to prognosticate, which means to foretell, prophecy, to predict the likely outcome of an act or a situation. So he's learning this. He observes diligently. And in the Latin, it means to know what most likely will happen beforehand, by observing, by learning through experience. To enchant. So he's learned to enchant and to lead one into doing something by seducing them with words. His hiss, which means his sharp, sibilant sound that is fricative, that consonants of a higher amplitude or pitch. Okay, this sharp sibilant sound that is fricative, consonant of a higher amplitude and pitch, made by a producing of friction of the breath. So a friction to rub against the breath in a, producing friction in a narrow opening, creating a turbulent airflow. This baffling wind, like I keep seeing, this turbulent airflow. And in the Latin, it means to rub against one, creating friction, to rub against one. So this serpent challenged God in his heart, boasting proudly and speaking against God's words of truth. He did this unto the woman, who is strikingly different than the man, weaker in spirit and more easily seduced by influencing and filling her mind with these lies and deceit, by rubbing up against her, hey, this is the way it's revealed, seducing her to commit adultery. And the word woman in this verse, when you look at it in the Strongs, it means adulteress. Look at it for yourself. You need to look at these things for yourself. Okay? So basically, he filled her mind with lies, like most men do. They'll lie their butt off just to get something from a female, right? They'll pretend to be something they're not, and everything else, right? I mean, it's it's crazy how the spiritual is played out in the physical. I mean, it's right in front of our eyes, man. But are you seeing it from a fleshly perspective or a spiritual perspective? Okay. And a woman don't even need to try to seduce a man. I mean, it's I don't know, and I'm not even gonna go there. But anyways, because she gave to her husband and he ate. Like, she gave to her husband and he ate. There it is. Rubbed up against him, whatever. I mean, this is what I see: rubbing, creating friction. I keep seeing that over and over in this verse. Okay, against her, seducing her to commit adultery against God spiritually and her husband, and doing so unknowingly. She didn't know. Unknowingly, through the deception of the serpent's words, as the very first liar. He is the serpent, telling her she will not surely die and be put to death, by taking in to hide in this body this seed of mankind. To take in and hide this seed of mankind. So there, what's she taking in and hiding? This seed of mankind that's being implanted in her. That is the destroyer. So this seed of mankind, that is the destroyer. If you follow your fleshly desires and lusts and everything, it's going to lead you straight down. You'll never come into the knowledge of the truth. It's that beastly image in nature of our flesh that speaks to us. The image of the beast that was made to speak. It speaks to us all day long. And if you follow that, you can end up in hell. And it should be clear. Here we go. Neglecting God's commands. So this flesh, this seed of mankind, this body that is the seed of mankind, to put in, right, taking in, to hide in this body, this seed, this seed of mankind, that is the destroyer, neglecting God's commands of wise moral conduct, and doing so to perish. It's going to perish. And he told me to look up this word perish, because there was more we need to see. To perish. Losing her original quality and character, to suffer, to rot and decay. Now, falling into complete ruin, to be destroyed. And in the Latin, by going through, completely going through to the other side, to pass away, to depart, to disappear, come to naught. No longer having true life, passing away, which is passing away to the other side, to cease to have existence, to fall by stepping across. And I keep seeing we've stepped across the boundaries of a created being. We disobeyed God, right? Stepping across, out of. So she stepped across and out of, to go, like in the 13th century is when this word came about, perish, right? To fall, to go of her own free will, detrimentally. And he told me to look that up. That was in the lexicons, right? To cause harm and damage, to suffer loss, to be worn out by this affliction, being impaired, a sleep of death, stupefied. Like when Adam fell into sleep, look at the word sleep, stupefied, this sleep of death, to be impaired. And that's from a word called, in the Latin, called terere, T-E-R-E-R-E, which means to rub, by rubbing. And it's funny because when you look at the word anointed, it means to be rubbed by God's Holy Spirit. Like, you know how if you've ever been to communion and had communion, especially in the Catholic faith, they put that, is it holy water or is it an oil? And they rub it across your forehead, make the sign of the cross. Anyways, I don't know. So anyways, it means, and it's from this word to rub. It means to have sex by partaking of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil from its firmness, So basically, to have sex, partake of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, to have sex. So there's that verse. More continued inspection. I hope I know there's spiritual truth in there. The details, man, the details. Haven't you ever heard the phrase, the devil is in the details? enough said there, eh? Okay, so there's that. Love and respect everybody, because that's what plants these seeds of hope and love and respect, right? To draw people to Christ, okay? And it's difficult. I know it's difficult, because people are becoming more and more wicked. Like the sheep and the goats are definitely being separated, the wheat and the tares. And we see what's going on in the world, right? Understand this. We're being fed exactly what they want to feed us. Everything is very deceptive. Not saying that there's not truth, some truth, or maybe a large amount of truth, but like a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump, right? If you are like me and you're searching out the truth, you listen to a whole lot of alternative media sources from supposedly, I listen to so many men and women who have connections and knowledge, especially in medical field, and especially within the government or the military or the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, all these different agencies. They supposedly have connections, right? But our hope is not in man, it's in God. Okay. Now, what I see about to occur is if these people are correct, and if one or two said it, you might think, but when you got dozens and dozens of people saying the same thing, and many of these people don't even know each other, and they've got different sources, right? Supposedly, right? Okay, so if what they're saying is true, and there's certain hubs of this satanic cult, basically, I'm just gonna say it that way, okay, that are in certain places around the world. So the next thing that may be taken over, most likely, will be Taiwan by China, because that's a hub for all kinds of evil things, right, that are occurring. Now, this country most likely will relax, but the noose is getting tighter, right? And these wicked, evil people are going to do whatever it takes to not go down. And I would expect a blackout. And like I said, I saw it 2-3 years ago now, clearly, like a giant wave coming up over New York. But it was in the wintertime when I seen it. Now, does that mean it's going to be in the wintertime? It's snowing like crazy here right now. Is it going to be like really soon now, or will it be next winter, or the next? I don't know. Is it even going to be winter, or did that mean something else spiritually that I'm not grasping yet? Okay, I'm not sure, because I saw I was like hovering above it, and I saw all these frozen bodies after this wick. And if you know anything about this little deal that a certain woman made with a certain government overseas, that's all over the news right now, okay, and supposedly they kept some for themselves to earmark it as, like, to blame it against them if it was ever to be used. Okay, I hope you're picking up on what I'm saying. So they're going to do something drastic here, and I believe the power will go out, and they're going to blame it on them, basically. But I heard in my spirit, when the dark, whatever it means, am I interpreting it correctly? Maybe someone else has that gift to interpret dreams and visions and stuff. When the darkness, I heard, but see, I wasn't dreaming. I heard his spirit tell me, when the darkness comes, the light will leave. So, what is that going to exactly mean? And I know darkness means willful ignorance, right? But also, it's like the spiritual's played out in the physical. So I'm just going to say that. I get these, he tells me things, and sometimes I don't quite process it, like this wave. What does that mean? Is it in the winter? I seen frozen bodies, and before this pandemic started, I knew something was coming. But I had no idea it was going to be what it was. I thought it was WW3, right? Okay, that's what I thought, like a couple years ago. So there's that. I mean, he's showing me things, and maybe I need to put it out there more, and people can reply, and maybe someone has that gift to more clearly understand it. All right, so there's that. All right, God bless you. Love and respect everybody. We're getting ready to go. There's no doubt. All right, have a great day. Bye.